and welcome to another fun and delicious episode about tea. Today, it won't be quite the healthiest episode, but it will sure get your, saliva going, your salivary glands going, because it is definitely tasty. Today, recently, for springtime, I don't actually know how often Girl Scout cookies are sold, but I was recently doing a holiday, a springtime bazaar, and there was a carton of Girl Scout cookies being sold, and then soon a whole wagon of Girl Scout cookies. And I don't know about you, but I honestly have not bought Girl Scout cookies in over 4 years. I used to be a Girl Scout when I was a little kid, and I've sold Girl Scout cookies before, but I just don't usually buy sweets. So when they came by my booth, I'm like, you know what? I really want to encourage entrepreneurship. So why not buy one of each Girl Scout cookie? So I told that girl, I'm like, it's your lucky day, because I haven't bought them in 4 years. And I will literally buy a box of Samoas, a box of Tagalongs. These are some of the classics. A box of Thin Mints, of course, Thin Mints. And they had some new ones called Girl Scouts S'mores. I've never had those before. They looked okay. And I've had like these lemon ones before, but I don't remember the name being called Lemon Up. I thought those were really cool because they had different leadership qualities on each of those cookies. Like one says, I'm a leader, I'm a go-getter. I thought, interesting. That's very encouraging for girls rising up in leadership. Now, granted, when I was Girl Scout, we only made 5 cents a box of cookies. So my troop actually stopped selling Girl Scout cookies because this is a little unfair. But I made sure that the girl who was selling me the cookies had a good margin for doing all this work, peddling Girl Scout cookies. Anyways, this episode is definitely not supported by the Girl Scout Association. But I was thinking, after eating the Lemon Up Girl Scout cookie and putting Earl Grey cream cheese on it, or not cream cheese, Earl Grey creamed honey on it, I was like, oh, it'll taste so good, citrusy with citrusy. I did not realize how sugary these cookies were, okay? And granted, you might know that these are full of sugar, but I don't eat many Girl Scout cookies at once. But I was thinking, we have several teas or tisanes, herbal infusions, that remind people of Girl Scout cookies. And there's no sugar in them. It probably is a good idea to have a cup of tea that's very similar and pair it to the Girl Scout cookie. So in the past, we've always told our customers, but you might not have heard of, especially if you're new to the Essence of Tea podcast, that we have this delicious minty cacao nib vanilla tisane. So it's an herbal infusion that we highly recommend during flu season, during allergy season, and it's caffeine free, especially if you're feeling sick and have a lot of inflammation and congestion. We highly recommend our Northern Serenity tisane. And you might be wondering, why are you only filling the cup halfway? I want to show you how to easily make this into a latte that will pair well with the Girl Scout cookie. So traditionally, for over the years, over 7+ years, we've told people, if you add milk and sugar to this, it tastes just like a Thin Mint. Well, now that I've recently had a Thin Mints are extremely sweet. So you do not have to add any sugar to this Northern Serenity, but you might want to put in some creamy frothed almond milk, soy milk, oat milk. So I have oat milk that I have made nice and smooth and creamy and frothy, and I put in only half of my tea. So I made my tea concentrated. So as if I filled up my whole cup with hot water, boiling hot water, and steeped it 3 to 5 minutes. Instead, I'm making a concentrate by just cutting the amount of water in half, steeping the tea in for the appropriate time, 3 to 5 minutes, and boiling hot water. And I'm going to top it off and dilute it back to the regular strength concentrate with my oat milk. So minty, so it's a cacao, a little bit chocolatey, but there's no chocolate technically in it. This Girl Scout cookie definitely has chocolate in it because it is a Thin Mint, and Thin Mints are known to be thin, minty, chocolatey, and just the right amount of sweetness, but it's always tempting to eat too many of them. So why don't you cut your craving with an unsweetened Northern Serenity with some oat milk, almond milk, whatever kind of milk you want to use in it. For me, I am so used to drinking my teas or tisanes without any milk or sugar or any sort of sweetener that I feel like if I'm going to have this as an evening tea, a caffeine-free option, and bringing health to myself, but I want a little bit of sweetness of a Thin Mint cookie, I could just dip it in here. And it almost like pairs the unsweetenness with the super sweetness and just makes a really good balance. So typically our Northern Serenity, we highly recommend people to add it with milk and sugar because it reminds you of a Thin Mint. But if you're going to eat it with a Thin Mint cookie, you're going to pair it. So that's like more of culinary science. You'll want to not put any sweetener in this because when you eat it with the sweet Thin Mints, it will be just the right amount of sweetness. Oh, that one's so good. Another one from another classic Girl Scout cookie that I didn't realize other than when I was talking about the quote unquote Thin Mint tea, this is not supported by the Girl Scout Association at all, is there is another classic Girl Scout cookie called Samoas. And they're like this chocolate coconut type of cookie. And I remember selling these myself. So I'm like, oh, this is an original classic, an OG of Girl Scout cookies. So I was thinking, well, that would pair perfectly because it's very similar to our chocolate passion. And for those of you who don't know what the chocolate passion is, this is trending. Like we're selling out of this so quickly. We've had it for many years. It's one of our staples at Sipping Streams Tea Company, but it's a caffeine-free version of masala chai. Essentially, it has the same spices. It's got cardamom, it's got pink pepper, it's got cinnamon, ginger, very similar, just like the masala chai. But instead of with chai or tea, which is the black tea that would be in masala chai, it has the same spices and raw organic cacao nibs. And since you're not eating the cacao nibs, it's just trace amounts of caffeine. So it's not enough caffeine to keep you up at night. It gives you that dark roasted type of flavor, especially if you're looking for something to cut coffee. It's a great replacement for coffee if you need something caffeine but want something dark and robust. And again, because we're going to be trying it out and pairing it with a Samoa cookie that's got sugar, it's got chocolate in it, putting that creamy, frothy, foamed almond milk into that chocolate passion is going to give you the notes to pair with it. So there's similar flavors, not the same, and one doesn't outdo the other. So when you're learning how to pair different teas with different foods, or in this case, we're doing Girl Scout cookies, this chocolate passion with foamed almond milk or oat milk or regular milk, whatever you want to put in it, will kind of give you that chai flavor. It has hints, very, very small amounts of coconut already in this chocolate passion. And so then when you eat or dunk or however you want to eat your Samoan coconut chocolate cookie, Girl Scout cookie, you're going to get drawn out more flavors of coconut, but diluted with the tea. So it pairs very nicely, very evenly. And also it cuts some of the sweetness because you drank something that is unsweetened and eaten something in your mouth that is very sugary sweet. So it balances it. So for those of you who are not a super sweet tooth person, but every now and then get a craving for some sweet treats, this is how you would create tea pairings with things that are sweet. Have something unsweetened, enjoy it on your palate with a thing that's sweet, and it cuts the sweetness almost in half, especially if you have something very rich like cheesecake or something like that. So I thought it was very fascinating to do a tea with Girl Scout cookies pairing, just because for us here in Alaska, I've seen Girl Scouts all over the place selling cookies. I don't know what it is like around where you are. I know you can even buy Girl Scout cookies on eBay. Someone told me they're on Amazon. I personally have not bought any cookies in over 4 years. But If you already have Girl Scout cookies, this is a great pairing. Or if you want the remembrance of Girl Scout cookies and you're not doing sugar anymore, make your own tea that can remind you of that sweetness that has no sugar in it, like this sugar-free oat milk with the chocolate passion that will remind you of Samoa cookies. Or our very popular Northern Serenity with milk in it, or whatever milk alternative you want in it, that gives you that chocolatey mint flavor, no sugar in it. Both of these are great for right before you go to bed, and they have no caffeine in them, or trace amounts of caffeine that would technically not even count as caffeine unless you literally ate the cacao nibs. They both have cacao nibs in them, and so one's more spicy, as the chocolate passion is, and then one is more minty, as the Northern Serenity is. If you want to learn more about tea and you want to learn more about culinary tea science, we have many classes available on our Universa-Tea website. So check it out on the link below. If you have any other episodes that you are interested in seeing me do or suggestions, please email us at hello@sippingstreams.com. This actually was an episode suggestion from a friend of mine. But then when I did that holiday springtime show, the trade show, the pop-up show, and saw the Girl Scouts walking around, I'm like, oh, it definitely is time to do a tea pairing with Girl Scout cookies. So try out all the different recipes that you can possibly think of. Remember using the technique of making a concentrate of your tea of half a cup of the tea. And if you want to add milk to it, then you fill it up the rest of the way with the warm or froth steamed milk. This frother, I don't have any affiliates with it. I just got it at Walmart. It's a Bodum brand, and it's an electric one. And so it mixes the milk for you, or even hot cocoa or whatever it is, and heats it up and foams it up for you. And it's only about $30, I think, at Walmart. So again, I am not endorsed by the Girl Scouts Association. I'm not endorsed by Bodum. I'm not endorsed by Walmart. These are things that I have in my house that I thought would be very interesting to share with you. So thank you so much for joining me today, and I can't wait to see you on our next episode of the Essence of Tea podcast. Don't forget to subscribe and tap the bell so you don't miss an episode.